This cosplay was built from EVA Foam, LEDs, and a lot of troubleshooting. I'll show you the full process and the mistakes to avoid. Let's jump right into things, starting with the template. I designed this using the curvature tool in Adobe Illustrator with the original manga panel drawn by Kei Urana as my base reference. I traced it first, then modified the shapes to better fit my build. If you want to skip this part, both versions of my templates are available at the link below. Next, print the template in poster mode and keep the pages in order. Be sure to set aside any blank pages to reuse for future printing. I then cut along the bold edges and tape the template together. You may need to make minor manual adjustments by adding or removing sections to achieve your desired final look. For easier handling, I cut the final assembled template into smaller pieces. Here you can see I divided mine into 3 pieces per blade. As soon as the template was ready, I cut the pieces from 10mm EVA Foam using a Foamworks bevel blade. Take your time aligning the angles. Doing it now will save you from recutting later like I am here. This is easily the most time-consuming part of the build. I used 10mm foam for most of the project, stacking 4 layers for each of the 2 upper handle sections and 2 layers for each blade. In hindsight, I recommend using 3 layers for the upper sections instead. It's much easier to work with and handle. Now for the fun part, LEDs. As mentioned earlier, each blade piece is made from 2 layers of 10mm EVA Foam. To create the Runic section of the blade, I started by cutting out the template for the upper piece with an X-Acto knife. For the back piece, there's no need to draw out the runes. I only marked a rough perimeter, as you can see here. These LED strips are easy to find on Amazon and usually come with adhesive. I chose to superglue them along the inner edge of the back piece for extra security and to keep them as hidden as possible. Here's how the layout looked once everything was positioned. I chose a set that includes both a battery pack and a USB option, which is helpful if you plan to power yours with a portable battery. Next, I taped a layer of translucent paper to the top of the back panel to diffuse the light more evenly. This sheet will be sandwiched between the 2 blade pieces. And here's a test run of how everything will look before I permanently glue it in place.
Oh my god, that looks so good. Whoa, nice, babe.
Thanks.
Wow, even Ace is admiring right now.
Ace is enjoying the show.
Once everything was in place, I superglued the 2 panels together. I was honestly really excited with how this turned out. From there, I moved on to cutting the midsection details, including the grooves and the hole for the pivot point. I highly recommend cutting all your details before assembling and supergluing any pieces together, something I forgot to do here. Cutting into already glued foam was much more difficult. Cutting grooves for the wooden dowels is another step best done prior to assembly. I remembered to do this for most of the handle and midsection pieces, hand cutting the grooves with an X-Acto knife, but I forgot to do it for the blade pieces. As you can see, I ended up installing these retroactively by drilling into the foam so the dowels could sit in place. This worked reasonably well for the plain blade, but it didn't work for the Runic blade. I couldn't drill deeply enough without risking damage to the LED section, which led to one blade being reasonably sturdy while the other one was a little bit floppy. I added magnets to the handle as well. Neodymium magnets are the strongest commercially available permanent magnets, making them ideal for cosplay props. I then used copious amounts of foam clay to smooth out the edges, which honestly works like magic, followed by a lot of sanding. After this, I was finally ready to spray paint the build the night before the con. While I was painting, my incredibly talented engine built my mask by simply eyeballing a reference photo, completing it within 2 hours. The next morning, I realized I had mixed up the colors on most of the pieces. It was literally the morning of the con when I scrambled to repaint about 2/3 of the prop. Painful to say the least. After that, we weathered everything with a soldering iron, which is a particularly crucial step that really ties everything together. Finally, I left the pieces out to dry again. And as always, be sure to wear PPE, at minimum, gloves and a mask. Now onto the cosplay itself. I found a pair of full leather pants that conveniently already had buckles above the knees. Measuring 10 centimeters above those buckles, I cut off the pant legs to recreate her leg warmers. If the fit works for you, you can even tailor the shorts and wear them as a part of the final cosplay. For weathering the rest of the outfit, I'd first tried using coffee and tea, which did absolutely nothing. What did work was mixing brown paint with water and spraying it across the cosplays. To save time, I found the bulk of her outfit online. For her top, I started with a basic tube top and sewed a few layers of medical bandages onto the surface, then weathered everything with black paint. And here's a quick fit check before moving on to the wig. As with most cosplay wigs, this one needed some restyling work out of the package. I sprayed the entire thing with fabric softener to basically rebuild it. I restructured the bangs and the back pieces, sectioning the bangs with pins, tying them off with rubber bands, and locked everything in place with an unreasonable amount of got-to-be hairspray. For the back pieces, I used a wire frame to help shape them and keep everything standing upright. And here's the final result. Huge shout out to our incredibly talented and endlessly patient photographer who brought this whole build to life. Be sure to check out Ra's work and definitely reach out if you're looking to book a photo shoot. And finally, we are off to Fan Expo at the Moscone Center. Presenting the completed fit check of our Riyo and engine. We had such a great time meeting everyone and loved all the photo requests.
I got you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a quick look at how the prop broke down and assembled on site at the con. And to wrap things up, here is a final 360 view of the completed cosplay and finished prop. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more behind the scenes cosplay chaos and tutorials, feel free to subscribe and follow along. Wishing you all a happy holiday season!